and what does that mean for her in terms of her past experiences. So thanks a lot for coming. I will hand over to the chairperson. Over to you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for making the time to be here today. I'd really just like to take this opportunity to thank you all for coming, for giving the oppressed a voice, because I feel without all of you covering these stories, no one would really care as much about what people like me go through. And so for that, I'm very grateful, and thank you. So when I decided to publicly come out about my sexual abuse, psychological oppression, and trauma, choosing to waive my right to remain anonymous, my life changed forever. The thing is, I didn't have to think long and hard about the decision though, because I had the support of my family, which was all I needed. After years and years of work, I'd come to a point where feeling shame and wanting to hide as if I had done something wrong made no sense to me at all. I was the one who was violated, and so I wanted to reveal my real name and show my face. I had no reason to hide in my head. I was given the choice, and that's what I chose to do. But I must admit that I did underestimate the impact that it would have on my life and on me as a human being. I was oblivious to the fact that the people of our country hadn't seen a rape case in South Africa unfolding in real time, with the actual accuser exposing herself on the stand. I anticipated some hate speech here and there, some naysayers, and some support. Basically, nothing out of the ordinary. But I didn't expect the flood of support that I got. I literally went to bed one night, and the next day, my name was everywhere. When I turned on the radio, the television, I went on social media, my face and my name were just everywhere, and I was not prepared for it. The plan was that I'd go to Port Elizabeth, say my say, and move on with my life as I knew it. Instead, I got to Port Elizabeth as planned, and I was re-traumatized. I got a badgering defense lawyer asking me about centimeters, telling me that I wanted to get raped, and basically making me feel like I was the one on trial. If that wasn't bad enough, I'd been back home for just a few days. Only just a few days, when I was told that there was a hit out on my head for R500,000 because I dared to speak my truth. I had to move out of home and away from my family that was keeping me sane, to somewhere safer to avoid imminent death. Luckily for me, Mamtogo Mkwanazi Kaluva, who's the deputy chair of the Cheryl Zondi Foundation, accommodated me, and she was there for me on her own account, in her own home, with her family. If it wasn't for her doing that for me, I don't want to think of what could have happened to me. All of this was happening, and the state did absolutely nothing. I had the witness protection program after waiting for them to contact me for weeks, telling me to change my name, move to the middle of nowhere, and drop out of school, reinforcing this lousy victims must hide mentality. Contrary to what was being said, I was never, ever in witness protection because it's a system that just doesn't work, especially for witnesses that are young and are not criminals or criminal informants. I was basically being punished for breaking my silence, and I still am, publicly experiencing what it means to be at the mercy of secondary victimization for the second time, which is what has brought us all here today. The NPA has not yet reached out to me to officially tell me how this recusal is going to affect me. But I do read the news, and the bottom line is that I am likely going to have to start testifying all over again from scratch, as if nothing happened last year. As if I didn't have to write special exams because the trauma I experienced made me incapable of concentration. I couldn't read for a few months. As if I didn't have to spend time away from my family to keep myself alive and to keep them alive. As if I haven't lost enough weight and sleep from all the stress that I've endured from this process. As if basically all that I've been through means nothing. The sad and harsh reality is that none of the things that I've mentioned are new. This is what happens in South African courts day in and day out. This matter is just bringing all of that to the fore in broad daylight for everybody to see. Since the Cheryl Zondi Foundation was started, I've engaged with victims who've made my story sound like a walk in the park. Some of them can't even get the police to take down their statements or even give them case numbers. I've dealt with victims that live one street away from their perpetrators. And if the witness protection program isn't working for me, how much worse is it for them? What's happening to them? I came out and made myself a symbol of hope and a role model. All of this I never anticipated. It's something that I'm still getting used to, but I have a responsibility to the nation that has supported me from the beginning. I have a responsibility to live up to the confidence our people have in me and to just keep going. There are people out there that I think about every day, children, young women and men who have been through what I have been through and worse. They're watching and they're waiting to see if I'm going to give up. And I want them to know that I'm not. Giving up is certainly not an option. Yes, but that's all I need to be. And that's all anyone who wants to come out needs to be. I want everyone looking up to me to see that it's possible to go through this and move on, to be happy, be apologetic, wear what they want, go where they want, be sexual if they want, and just live the way they want. It's possible. Don't allow yourself to be caged in to what society expects a rape victim to be. It was extremely difficult and agonizing for me the first time around, and I certainly expect the process to be even worse and more amplified than it was the first time. The defense lawyer that I was referring to earlier is wanting to have cameras removed from the court. And that just goes to show that these people want to dictate how I tell my story. They want to dictate how victims tell their stories. And that is not on. The story belongs to me. These are the things that are being brought to the fore by this case. And it cannot be justice. These things need to be addressed. If I have to go through secondary victimization all over again to get justice, then so be it. The thing is that I know at the end of the day, the truth is going to trump all these tactics and all of these lies, as always, and it will prevail. I don't care how many times I have to tell the truth or go through the same process over and over again. I will not give up, because this is not just about me or even about this case. It is much bigger than all of us, and it is about justice. So the struggle is going to continue, whether they like it or not. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Cheryl. I don't know yeah. Can we entertain some few questions from members of the media? Please, for the benefit of the panelists, just indicate your name and the media house you represent. Can I get an indication of questions, if any,